If you guys have questions, just post them and I'll talk. In the meantime, I'm gonna drink the smoothie, which probably does not look super appetizing because it's sort of like a muddy brown color. But someone's probably gonna ask what's in it, so I will tell you. There's 4 cups of berries in there. Organic. Oh, it's all organic, of course. 3 cups of a berry mix, which was strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries, and 1 cup of organic cherries. 10 dates. Boy, that's a lot of sugar. Some hemp seed, 3 tablespoons. There is some walnuts in there, 2 giant handfuls of leafy greens like spinach and kale, and then I just fill it up with water and I blend it all up and I drink it, and it's really good. Even though it makes like a weird colored, the result is a weird color, but it tastes great and it is great for me. All right, so either my connection's bad and you're commenting and I don't see them, or you aren't commenting. I don't know which. I do see some likes and stuff, but yeah, no comments are displaying on my screen. So, all right, gang. Well, what I'll do is I'm gonna sign off, and then if there were a bunch of comments that didn't show up, then I'll jump back on. You know, it's weird. When I had something to do with the charger. As soon as I unplugged my charger, then now I can see the comments. I don't know what that's about. So anyway, I may just have to go until the iPhone dies on me. I only have about 18%. Okay. Hi, Debbie. Love you too. Malu, is that right? What food do you travel with? Hi, Rita. Okay, yeah. What food do I travel with? Great question. So I will pre-make my oatmeal and travel with it. There's a recipe on my site how to supercharge your oatmeal. And so I'll make it dry and travel with it. And I wish I had one to just show you, but put it in a little Ziploc, and I'll travel with it. So that's like my, what am I trying to say? That's like my just in case, like breakfast, if I can't get a good breakfast option where I am. So like one of my go-to travel breakfasts, the lighting in here is a little weird. Let me see if I can find something better. My go-to travel breakfast is Starbucks oatmeal. So I'll usually go in Starbucks and get like 2 oatmeals, and I may even go outside as long as I have a good reception. So Starbucks, I'll get 2 oatmeal. I eat a lot, so I'll get 2 oatmeals in Starbucks, and they have like little almonds and cinnamon and stuff, and I'll put that in there, and I'll get a green tea. So I know if there's a Starbucks, I can get like a great breakfast, but a lot of times, sometimes there aren't. Like I was just at a place where I wasn't near a Starbucks at all, and the breakfast options weren't great, so all I need is boiling water, which I can get, you can get in your hotel room. We use the coffee pot to boil some water, or I can soak the oats overnight, and it's ready. I'll just eat it cold. So I'm pretty easy as far as breakfast goes if I bring my own. Lunch is more of a challenge when I travel. I always try to get like a juice or 2 per day if I can find a juice bar. And then lunch will be something plant-based, right? So I'm looking for a restaurant or a cafe or a deli or something where I can just get some veggies, get a salad, a big salad, or get even a vegetable, like a veggie burrito with rice and beans and peppers and onions and avocado, salsa, like just a bunch of good veggies. Of course, organic food is harder to come by when you're traveling. And so I don't eat organic when I travel because it's hard to find organic. If I can find it, I will definitely eat organic. But I just eat plant-based. And then when we go out to dinner, same thing. I just look for a nice restaurant that has a good selection of vegetables on the menu, and I'll order vegetables off the menu, and I'll tell them typically to hold the salt, just like don't salt it, and I'll look for things that they don't cook in a bunch of oil, because I just cannot eat like oily. A lot of restaurants, they just serve you these just like, to me, just really overly oily, salty vegetables. It's just become gross to me. So I just want something fresh. I don't mind if it's boiled or steamed or baked. I just don't want it just dripping with oil and salt. So anyway, that's kind of what I do. And in pretty much any restaurant, like, besides a fast food restaurant, is going to have a selection of vegetables, right? Rice, beans, potatoes, broccoli, asparagus, cauliflower, whatever. So it's not hard, but if there aren't restaurants around, if we're staying somewhere for the week, like a vacation situation that's maybe remote, then yeah, we'll go to the grocery store and just load up on the normal kind of food that we eat anyway, and just cook the same kind of stuff we would cook at home at our house. Okay, Debbie said, what do you think about kombucha? I drink it every once in a while. I like it, just as an every once in a while kind of drink. I think it's a little bit overly hyped up. It does have a fair amount. I mean, they have to put sugar in it to create kombucha. It's got tea in it. It's made from tea. Tea's wonderful. Green tea, black tea are wonderful. Tea's good. Fermented food can be very beneficial, but in some cases, it actually might not be beneficial depending on your situation. So I know there's a lot of hype about fermented foods, and I've even said fermented foods are wonderful. We need to eat more fermented foods. But there is an opposite opinion that is worth considering, which is that fermented foods may be exacerbating your problem. If you're, quote unquote, feel like you're eating healthy and you have some kind of chronic condition, but you're also eating a lot of fermented food, that might be something to eliminate to see if you start to feel any better, do better. So again, just a little perspective on it. So, but yeah, like I had some kombucha this week. I had a kombucha when I was traveling. So there happened to be, it was actually a free one. So I was like, sweet. Okay, let's see. Hey, Cindy, Franklin, Tennessee. I love me some Franklin. Franklin's such a great city. I'm envious of you. I love Franklin, although it's getting a little bit congested. A little bit too many people moving into Franklin and Nashville. It's like 100 people a day, I heard. Okay. Am I concerned about the sugar in my drink? Anne Marie asked that. In my smoothie? No. I mean, this is whole foods from the earth. Like, fruit is great. Sugar in fruit is wonderful. It serves the body. No, I don't add sugar to it. I don't put corn syrup in it or, white sugar. I just let the natural sugar in fruit sweeten it, and it's delicious. And yeah, I eat at least 10 servings of fruit every day. Some days 15. Okay. Lisa asked about just put emergency food. Like, do we have emergency food? I guess that's the question. We actually do have some like buckets of emergency food that were a gift. And they're not organic at all. They're just like emergency food, and there's like meat in there and stuff. And, again, I didn't pick them. I just was given them, and we've got them. So in an emergency, I'm not going to be picky. If I'm trying to survive like the zombie apocalypse, I'm going to eat anything I can find. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. There will be no vegans in the zombie apocalypse. All right. Hi, Mandy. So Mandy said my 9-year-old has recurring facial tics, and I've given him DHA, and it subsides eventually. Any other ideas? I wish I had ideas for that. I really don't know. That's not something I've really studied or looked into or have any experience or know anybody that's gotten over something like that. Gosh, I wish I knew. I really don't. I'm sorry. Okay. Look, let me just say this. I think it's important to examine the diet, right? If I had a kid with a chronic issue or a chronic condition, what I would do is I would do an elimination diet. So I would start removing specific food groups from the diet, and specific foods, especially anything processed, junk food, sugary food, Cokes, whatever. Not saying you're giving them those. I'm just saying that's what I would do. I would start eliminating things and watch very carefully and keep a food journal and see if any dietary changes had any effect. And then, of course, reading and researching. I would be reading and researching about supplementation, adding things, and seeing if they helped as well. But I know that's all kind of generic, but sometimes I think people overlook the elimination diet 'cause it can be very effective. And then you figure out, oh, gee whiz, like sometimes it's like one specific food group or too much sugar or some kind of food additive or chemical processed food additive. It's exacerbating some weird condition that somebody has. Okay, sorry I'm like burping because I'm like talking, here's a little pro tip. If you're going to be doing a lot of talking, don't drink a smoothie before your next talk or your Facebook live chat, because then you're going to be like burping, in the middle of your talk. Okay, Avonlea, I guess, is the name. Hey there. Are there any packaged foods that are your go-to? Do you completely stay away from anything packaged? All right. Okay. Travel. Oh, this goes back to the travel question because somebody asked me earlier. I love Lara bars. Lara bars, I love. So I do. We'll grab a handful of those, throw them in my bag, and snack on them on the plane, or in the hotel, or at a conference, or whatever. Like Lara bars are great. In fact, Lara bars. Let me give you a. They should be paying me to do this. Let's see if I've got. Oh, I don't have it. Lara Bar has they have two organic bars now. They're called like organic superfood bars that have like ginger and turmeric in them and stuff. And those are awesome. So those are like my new favorites. If you go to Whole Foods or somewhere where they sell the Lara Bar, look for those. But other packaged food, I mean, it depends what you mean by packaged, because, a lot of food comes in packages, right? I buy hemp seeds. Those are in a package. But it's not like a processed food. So I wonder if you mean, like, are there any favorite processed foods that I like? But like a snack bar like Lara Bar, it's like 5 ingredients. It's like dates, cashews or almonds, and something else. And that's like, that'll be it. So if you're looking at snack bars, a lot of them have cane syrup or some kind of like concentrated sweetener and some kind of like, concentrated, isolated protein and stuff. And I stay away from those kind of snack bars and just go with like a snack bar, like a Lara Bar. Again, 5 ingredients, perfect. And it's all whole food. There's just nothing weird in there. Yeah, thank you. Right. Kathy said, take 3. Okay. Rodrigo, have you ever taken ayahuasca? No, never taken ayahuasca. Ayahuasca kind of scares me. It's a psychedelic medicinal plant, and I probably would never take it. I've heard some good stories about it, and also heard some really like seriously crazy stories of people taking it and then like wandering off into the jungle in Peru and dying. So ayahuasca, no, I've never taken it. Do I juice also? That is from Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Yes, I drink 16 to 32 ounces of juice almost every day. A lot of times I get it on the go because I'm on the go. So I'll drop in a juice bar or Whole Foods and get a fresh juice there. I love to make it fresh at the house. And when I had cancer, I made 64 ounces every day, first thing in the morning for the whole day. Now I'm kind of on the go and stuff. And so it's just sometimes easier just to get it at a juice bar. Yep. But I do love juice. And I'll alternate. Sometimes I get, a big green juice, or I'll get like a carrot beet kind of juice. I'll just mix it up. Okay. Hey, Joe. Joe's from the UK. Thank you for being you. Thank you, or you're welcome, or whatever. When people say thank you, I always want to say thank you for saying thank you. Do you guys feel that way? I don't know. Like, I'm just thankful that anyone is thanking me for what I do, right? So I almost want to say like, you're welcome and thank you. And then it can end up in like a sort of a vicious cycle of thanking each other to infinity. So Kathy, hi Kathy. What do I say to my clients that are be told not to eat too many fruits and vegetables while doing chemo? Yeah, I know, right? It's so ridiculous. Like, don't eat too many fruits and vegetables, but this toxic, cancer-causing poison, totally fine. If you can't make them understand how ludicrous anyone telling them that is. I don't know. It's like some people, like whatever the doctor says is just, it's like it was spoken directly from God himself. It just doesn't make any sense, right? What are they telling pregnant women? Don't eat soft cheeses. Chemo's fine, right? Ooh, don't eat apricot kernels. They have cyanide, but chemo's totally fine. Don't drink too much carrot juice. It's too much vitamin A. It's bad for your liver. Chemo won't hurt your liver at all. These people are crazy. Ooh, I just found a new feature. I can actually delete a comment. So y'all better be, only say nice things, because I can just delete it right on the fly. Haven't had to do that yet. Okay. Hey, Jackie. Okay. Hi, Lisa from Oklahoma. One supplement for cancer prevention. Number one supplement is vitamin D, period. It's the number one anti-cancer vitamin that everyone's deficient in, and you might need anywhere from 1,000 international units a day to 10,000 a day. You want to get your blood level over 60 nanograms per milliliter. Is that right? I think that's the right measurement. You want to be over 60 and really closer to 80 if you can get it up to 80. That's in the U.S. In the U.K., you have a different measurement. You're going to have to get, you have to do some kind of conversion on that. But that's in the U.S. You want to be over, to go get your vitamin D panel, you want to be over 60, closer to 80. What do I think about doing Budwig for 4 to 6 weeks as preventative? I don't do it as preventative, so that's what I think about it. I do know some cancer patients that did the Budwig protocol. It was part of their protocol, and they did get well. My friend Courtney Campbell, greendrinkdiaries.com, now anticancermom.com, which is I'm going to take some credit on the name advisement. Yep, that's right. I told her, go with that name. It's great. So she's awesome, a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor. You guys look her up. But she did Budwig, and then other people have. I interviewed a woman who healed her breast cancer in 1 year, and she incorporated Budwig. So I'm not against it, but I've also had people tell me that it may not work at all or may be harmful for certain types of cancer. So I don't know. It's just I'm on the fence about Budwig. I didn't do it in my deal. I did get on a kick at one point and eat it for a while years ago. Hey, Kathy. I take curcumin and turmeric, both. I take theracumin, which is a very highly absorbable form of curcumin, and I take turmeric powder, organic turmeric powder, in my smoothie. Oh, that's one of the ingredients I forgot. There is a tablespoon of turmeric in here. So every day, tablespoon of turmeric in my smoothie. I also put turmeric and curry powder on a lot of the food I eat. I try to put it on everything I eat. It's great. It actually mixes well with fruit in a smoothie. It doesn't make it weird. It just adds it just kind of makes it interesting. Hey, John, thoughts on cannabis oil? There's a lot of testimonials about cannabis oil. It's obviously illegal in some states. It has some anti-cancer benefits. There's a lot of research yet to be done, because it's still relatively new. People have been talking about it for years, but as far as the scientific community actually researching it, that's relatively new with regards to cancer. If I had cancer now, I might be inclined to take it. Or if I'd known about it in 2004, it wasn't even a thing. Like, no one was talking about it back then. I might be inclined to take it. So, yeah, maybe. Some people have a hard time with it, though, because, there's a lot of different strains of cannabis, and you can get really, really high. Taking it and just can't function, So some people that need to function or just don't like being high, kind of have a hard time with cannabis oil. Okay, Jan said, which is short for Janice, says, food and travel is stressful for me. How do you manage it? So I talked about this earlier, but I bring my own oatmeal breakfast. How to supercharge your oatmeal is a post I wrote about my oatmeal that I make every day. I eat it every day at home, and I bring it with me when I travel. And sometimes when I travel, I don't bring it, and then I hate myself for not bringing it. But my go-to travel, I mentioned it in the other video. I'll just repeat some of that stuff. I guess it's just relevant. I always look for Starbucks. Starbucks has oatmeal and green tea. If I can get oatmeal and green tea, I'm good. I'm just great. And then also if I can get a juice somewhere, which Starbucks doesn't do fresh juice. At least I've never seen one that does. But so that is my go-to travel breakfast if I don't eat my oatmeal. Bernie asks, did you do energy/emotional healing for your cancer or just diet? No, I did everything. Everything I could find and afford. So yes, hardcore diet. Yes, supplements. Yes, herbs. But I took a hard look at my mental, spiritual, and emotional condition and was willing to be very honest with myself and my thoughts because I was bitter and I was angry and I was envious and I was prideful and jealous. And not to say I'm not still prone to any of those emotions, but I let them rule me. If you understand what that means, I was letting my emotions rule me. I was also very insecure and struggled with that insecurity. And I mean, even to some degree, self-hatred. I know some of you know what that's like. You just hate yourself. And so I had to learn to love myself, to accept who I was, to forgive myself for my mistakes, to forgive others that had hurt me, and to take every thought captive, which is a biblical principle, and catch my thoughts, right? When I was thinking negatively, catch myself and change my thought, right? Because you are not your thoughts. You control your thoughts. A lot of people don't realize that. You are not your thoughts. Just think about it for a second, right? Your thoughts are a product of your choice. So you choose to think one way or another way. And what I mean by that is whenever you start to feel jealous, you feel a feeling, you're thinking thoughts, jealous-related thoughts of someone who's more successful, right? Or envious or of someone. And in that moment, you can catch yourself and be like, you know what? I'm choosing not to be jealous of that person. Like, I need to be happy and thankful for what I have. And thank you, God, for what I have. I'm super blessed. I live in the United States of America. I am blessed. There are millions and millions of people in the world who have far less than me. And I just need to count my blessings and be thankful. And so gratitude is the secret to happiness and the secret to combat, jealousy and envy. And, there's so many people running around now trying to stir up trying to be careful here, trying to stir up, class envy and racial tension and complaining about inequality and, fairness. And the truth is, we are so blessed. If you're watching this right now, you are rich. You are a rich person if you have the internet. If you live in a Western nation, you are rich, my friend. You may not realize it. You may feel poor if you compare yourself to others, but I want to challenge you to compare yourself to the truly poor people in the world who are living in shacks, sleeping on the ground, foraging, scrounging for food, starving. You are rich, right? You got a house, you got an apartment, car, clothes, food, internet, you got your smartphone. You're rich. So your perspective is so important. I could talk about this for 8 hours, but anyway, congratulations, you got me on a massive tangent. I don't even know where this started. Started with the emotional healing. So that was just one component of it, but forgiveness was a huge component, and really being grateful, being content for what I have. I just had to realize, I was so thankful just for another day of life and so acutely aware of how precious life was after being diagnosed with cancer. I was just so thankful to be able to get out of bed, that I could run, take a little run, I could work, that I could take care of myself, that I could feed myself, I could clothe and bathe myself. Someone didn't have to help me go to the bathroom. like, I was so thankful for all those like little things that we take for granted that it just totally reset. It just reset everything. Cancer was a massive reboot of my operating system and the way I look at life. And by the way, it is still, I mean, I could still get sucked into materialism and, you know, all that other stuff, negative emotions. Like, it didn't just make me perfect, right? But it made me so aware of cancer. A lot of you know this. I mean, it just cuts such a hard dividing line between the essential and the non-essential in life. And you just realize what's important. And most stuff isn't, right? Most of the stuff we worry about isn't important at all. And so, you know, it just changed me, right? It changed me forever. And hopefully it will change you. One of the saddest things I ever heard a cancer patient say was, I'm not going to let cancer change me. And I just thought, when I heard that, I thought, oh man, that's a mistake. Cancer should change you completely in every way. So anyway, do I take iodine? I take iodine every once in a while. So I just kind of periodically will take some iodine. Okay. Stephanie said, ha, laughed at something I said, not sure what, but glad you liked it. Oh, you know what? I want to talk about, I was just on that tangent about people, you know, about, I want to put a bow on that, on what I was talking about, which was contentment and gratitude. What we have right now in our culture is people don't have their own definition of enough. I was at a conference thingy this weekend and had this conversation with someone, actually a couple times, because I was around a lot of successful people, way more so than me. And I've noticed that people don't know what enough is. They don't have their enough. And I want to challenge everyone watching this. How much is enough, right? Because if you don't have a definition of what enough is, you will keep going and striving and chasing after stuff and money and whatever, right? Because you're never satisfied. You never have enough. And I have enough. I mean, there is a certain income level. You know, they say it's like $74,000 a year. If you make that, then that's the ideal amount of, like, on a happiness scale. Like, any money you make over that doesn't add to your happiness. But if you get to 74, then apparently the most happiness you can get from money. This may be just for a single person. Family might need more or something. I don't know. But the point is, like, these were like multi-millionaire, some of these people that and it was like they weren't happy. You know, they were unhappy, and they're workaholics and like just wanted more and more and more. And I'm not saying everybody or anything. I'm just saying this is common among successful people, not just people that I know, is they just don't have a definition of what's enough. And cancer taught me to be content with what I had at that moment. And I had very little, I was in a tiny little house. I wasn't making $74,000 a year. You know, I was making way less. I was in a little 2-bedroom house, which is still rich. I was super rich compared to the rest of the world, being in a 1,100 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bath house by the University of Memphis. Okay. Like, let me make sure I give you perspective. But, you know, compared to successful Americans, right, I was, you know, starting pretty low at the bottom there. But I just learned to be content and say, you know what, I have enough. I have enough right now. But do I want more? Yeah, I would like to have more. I'm going to work towards having more. I'm going to grow my business. I was in real estate. But it's important not to defer your happiness into the future, right? Like, you choose to be happy with what you have now. If you can't be happy now, you won't be happy later. Like, the more you get, more won't make you happy. So you need to understand that you have enough right now. So that will make you happy. That will bring happiness and contentment and peace. Kathy, what do I think about non-GMO soy? I'm okay with it. Look, it's just a bean. I think people are freaked out about soy for reasons that are not, not necessary. Soy is just a bean, like lots of other beans. Sometimes I eat soybeans. I don't worry about it. I don't worry about phytoestrogens. There's actually real solid science that healthy populations with lower rates of cancer eat more soy than we do. Shocker. And that phytoestrogens from soy are good. They're not bad. They're good for your endocrine system. So don't be afraid of soy, as long as it's non-GMO. I have a CT with contrast for head and neck cancer that's spread. I asked to get an ultrasound. They said no. What can I do before? Well, okay, yeah, if you're going to get a CT, that's ionizing radiation, and you just want to amp up your body with antioxidants. CT scans cause a lot of oxidative damage. I mean, not a lot. That's whatever. Ionizing radiation can cause oxidative damage, so the way you combat that is with antioxidants, which your body produces, but also you get from food. So tons of berries. I would eat tons of berries, tons of leafy greens, right? In juices, just like really load up, saturate your body with antioxidants before and after a CT scan, and that's the best protection you can get. Same thing with the sunshine. Like, sun is good to an extent, but sun can also damage your skin. Like burning, that's damage, okay? We love the sun. Sun can give us vital energy, vitamin D3, but too much sun will hurt you. And so the best way to protect yourself from sun damage, aside from natural sunscreen, staying in the shade and things like that, not getting like too much, is tons of antioxidants and berries. So we drink fruit smoothies before we go out in the sun at the beach. Okay, Kay says, thank you for all you do. Well, then don't. I'm just kidding. So thank you, Kay, for saying that, and thanks for spreading the word. Do you drink alkaline water? Nope. What is your thoughts on treating cancer with hydrogen peroxide in water? I've read up on it. I have food-grade hydrogen peroxide in the fridge, and I have taken it on occasion and gone through that hydrogen peroxide protocol. I don't know, I can't say, does it treat cancer or cure cancer? I don't know, right? But it might have some beneficial effect. When you take high-dose vitamin C, it converts to hydrogen peroxide in your body. It's a side of, it's like, and that's part of its anti-cancer effects is hydrogen peroxide. And there's certain, how do I articulate this in a way that makes sense? Hydrogen peroxide is a compound that's created in your body to combat certain invaders, viruses, parasites, other problems. So there is it's a beneficial compound in the body, but drinking it in the food grade form it may be helpful. I just can't say for sure, but I've definitely read up on it, and it's compelling. It's compelling enough for me to buy some years ago and keep it handy and drink it sometimes. Ria, what's my advice for parents trying to help children with cancer and trying to follow alternative treatment? Number one, run away. Go hide in Mexico. That's my advice, number one, because we've seen children be taken from their parents and forced to take chemo. A story, it was in the Truth About Cancer series, a girl I met, Cassandra Callender, taken away from her parents at 17. She was 17. Old enough to make a decision, old enough to go get an abortion without her parents' permission, but not old enough to refuse chemotherapy. Like, how messed up is that? And she was taken away from her mother and kept like a prisoner in a hospital. Her mother couldn't even see her that much, and forced chemotherapy. She finally got out, turned 18, got out, and she may have even had to continue the treatments past her birth date. I don't remember that detail there. Got out, tried to go back to normal, and her cancer's back. So, and now she's pursuing, holistic therapies and alternative, natural, non-toxic treatments, stuff like that. So that's one of many stories I've heard. Some very tragic, some ended very tragically with a Cut, Poison, Burn is a documentary I recommend you watch about this very thing, about parents and their, being forced to put their child in chemotherapy against their wishes. So it's pretty terrible. Let's see. So, but beyond that, advice for parents, look, they need tons of fruits and vegetables. No junk food. Don't give them ice cream, right? Don't give them like sweets and candy and soda and ice cream and crap. I would get them on a plant-based diet. Tons of fruits and vegetables, raw and cooked. Fruit, anything they will eat. Okay, don't worry about the sugar in fruit. Fruit's wonderful. That's what I would do for my child. And then I personally would investigate supplementation. A lot of the anti-cancer supplements that are out there, you have to kind of figure out what you are comfortable with giving your child, and whatever. It's a very touchy area with supplementation in children. So I mean, I can't say anything specific about it, but that's what I would do. Susan loves my supercharged oatmeal. That's great. I'm so glad to hear that. Is my recipe the same, or have you changed anything? Ooh, have I changed anything since I posted that? I still use blackstrap molasses. Still love to use date sugar. I've actually been using maple syrup a little bit. Yeah, maple syrup. Maple syrup has some anti-cancer compounds in it. Who knew? Well, I knew. I learned about it. And I shared an article about it. I don't remember when it was, sometime earlier this year. So maple syrup has some really unique anti-cancer compounds. So it is an anti-cancer sweetener. And guess what? Dr. Gerson, who was light years ahead of his time, allowed maple syrup on the Gerson therapy. How about that? And molasses. So he knew back then. And then berries. Yeah, I'll mix it up with different berries. Like I'll throw blueberries or goji berries. Goji berries are great nutritionally, but I'm not crazy about the taste of goji berries. They're good because you can put them in a travel version because they're dry. But I much prefer like some fresh blueberries or raspberries in my oatmeal. I just love the taste more than goji berries. And then other than that, no, recipe's pretty much the same. And when I travel, the way I sweeten it is I'll use maple sugar, which is just dried maple syrup. So I'll add some maple sugar in there. Can't put blackstrap molasses in it, so I'll do date sugar, which is dried ground up dates, and I'll do maple sugar, and it's great. It's delish. All right. I'm just not into alkaline water. I mean, these water machines are like $1 million, and it's not the alkalinity of the water that helps you. I mean, it's the alkalinity of the food. Eat tons of fruits and vegetables. You'll get way more alkalinity than, you'll get as much as you need from fruits and vegetables. Your water just needs to be really clean and pure. That's the deal. Clean, pure, fresh water. Fresh is a weird adjective. Clean, pure water. It's not going to be fresh unless it's straight out of the ground. But then again, your well water could be dirty from pesticide runoff and agriculture, pharmaceutical runoff that they give to herds of cows, field over or whatever. So it needs to be clean, pure H2O. Use a distiller or reverse osmosis, or my personal favorite, the Berkey, which is right behind me. Okay, let's see. We'll do a little kitchen tour. Who wants a kitchen tour? Anybody? All right, so the Berkey. Wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, look at that shot right there. The Berkey water filter. That's what I use. Go to ChrisBeatCancer.com/BERKEY, Berkey. You pour the water in the top, and it filters down into the bottom, and you've got clean, pure water. It has a fluoride filter. It removes like 99.99% of hundreds of contaminants. It's awesome. Love the Berkey. And it's portable. It doesn't require any water pressure. Look, I mean, there's no plug. You don't have to plug it in. It's not connected to your water system. You just pour water in the top, and just once a day before bed. Sorry, I'm talking. I should leave the camera there. Once a day before bed, we just fill up the top with water, and in the morning, the bottom's full. It's simple. That's the Royal Berkey. It holds 3 gallons. All right. And then here, you want a little kitchen tour. You can see some leftovers. Vitamix. And then there's hemp seed. There's my dates that I just had in my smoothie. And then some walnuts. I just haven't cleaned up yet. And then this is organic turmeric powder from Amazon. Star West Botanicals. You guys probably know that brand. Some of you. And so that's, where was I? Was I right here? Anyway, stuff in the kitchen. Oh, well, so here's another little kitchen tour. So what do we got? That's our teapot. By the way, do not buy this one. Okay, do not buy this one, which is kind of funny. It looks like a Waffle House teapot. This one is, because it doesn't have a spout here, you have to basically turn the thing almost upside down to pour out water, and it's annoying. It was only like $10 on Amazon because the other one broke or got really nasty or something. But go on Amazon, buy a glass stovetop tea kettle for your tea. Do not use metal ever for boiling water. Now, stainless steel is fine for cold water. It's not going to leach into cold water, but you don't want to boil in it. And then, like, what have we got? Bananas, lime, corn, and some peaches, some potatoes, or potatoes, as McDougal calls them. And we grew some giant cucumber. Look at that thing. Some monster cucumbers here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do this camera with, yeah. So that's just, stuff in my kitchen at the moment. Okay. Joanne says, I've beaten pancreatic cancer and know how much of what you were saying is the gift we were given along with our new life. Hey, Joanne, congratulations. And if you did, I'd love to know what you did to beat it. Let me know. I mean, if you did a lot of nutrition, natural therapies and stuff, I'd love to help share your story. Yeah, Krista says, with God, we have enough. That's right. What are my thoughts on B17? I think it could be helpful. Apricot kernels are great. Eat apricot kernels every day, 1 to 2 per 10 pounds of body weight. I wouldn't just put all your faith in that one thing to cure your cancer, but apricot kernels are great, so eat them. Okay, what else? Thank you, Becky. Thank you so much. That's really sweet. Thoughts on radiation? Radiation doesn't cure cancer. That's my thought. If it did, then we would have cured cancer in the 1920s and 30s and 40s when they were using radiation only. And then, in the 50s, they started using chemo because radiation didn't work. And so radiation therapy, it'll shrink tumors, but it makes existing cancer stem cells more aggressive. And it can cause new cancers in the body. So radiation causes cancer, and it's not, I don't think much about it other than those thoughts. What do I think about Orgain? Orgain is a brand that I am okay with. I think what's better than Orgain is Liquid Hope. Still got it. Liquid Hope would be better than Orgain. Google it, Liquid Hope. That's for people on a feeding tube or that need a nutritional, add to nutrition to juices or smoothies or something for cancer patients. It was developed for cancer patients. It's a plant-based, whole food, supplement food replacement powder and feeding tube formula. Frank says, will I be in Philadelphia, New York in the near future? Yeah, I'm going to be there in October, New York City. If anybody wants to help me organize a little talk while I'm in New York City, either post a comment in this thread. How about that? It'll be there the first weekend in October. So if you would like to come, or if you can help maybe set something up in a juice bar or whatever. Juice bar is really not going to be big enough if I broadcast it publicly, but but anyway, yes, I would love to set up a talk when I'm there, and folks, help me or whatever. Kathy has a great question. How do we approach people with the information we know and the resources we have that are different than the doctors? Not sure how to approach them. So, look, most people are not open. This is the reality. Most people aren't open to nutrition, to lifestyle change, right? They just want to do what the doctor says. And so the best you can do, I think, or the least you can do, and it might be the most you can do, is just to say, hey, for example, you could say, hey, there's this great website called ChrisBeatCancer.com, and there's a bunch of information about anti-cancer, nutrition for cancer patients, right? There's just a bunch of information about nutrition for cancer patients. And I thought, it might be helpful to you. Just give them that little bit, right? And then if they go to my site, they'll be like, wow, fireworks, right? There's all these survivor stories, interviews, nutrition information about chemo and radiation, all kinds of stuff. And it may resonate with them and inspire them and encourage them and empower them to take control of their life and change and amazing things happen. Or they may just be like, that's not for me. And then at least, then you can know that you tried. But some people are just, like I said, some people aren't open. You can't help them. Just can't. If they don't ask for help, You probably can't help them. How often should you do coffee enemas? I never do them, so I don't know the answer to that. I mean, some people will do them once a day for, a long time or a few times a week, but I don't do them regularly. How many people have I met that have healed naturally? Well, just cancer, I've personally interviewed over 50 on the site, but I've met many, many more. Gosh, I mean, I don't know. Personally, at least over 100, maybe 200, a lot of people. But a lot of people don't want to go public, they don't want the attention. And I've had people, people turn me down sometimes and I'm like, hey, I want to share your story. And they're like, no, thanks. So, I'd rather not, I just want to be an accountant or whatever. So I don't want to be a public cancer guy, So anyway, yes, I mean, lots of people have healed. They are healing. Be encouraged by that. I take aloe. I love aloe vera juice. I've taken tons of chlorophyll. I took tons of chlorophyll in 2004 and 2005. Sun chlorella is a pretty famous one. Now I'm not sure about Japanese chlorophyll because of Fukushima and the radiation pollution. So I wouldn't get chlorella from Japan. And I haven't taken it really since Fukushima. I haven't taken chlorella. But there may be some better brands out there. But you get chlorophyll from green leafy vegetables. So I just eat a lot of green leafies and eat moringa. Jan says, do you eat oils? We consume very little oils. My wife will use coconut oil sometimes when she cooks, or olive oil, or sometimes like grapeseed oil, or even avocado oil, but just occasionally. So we just generally avoid oils and grease and butter. And like we'll pan fry in water. Like I'll just cook stuff in water, right? Steam it, boil it, pan fry it in water. You can bake potatoes without oil. Yes, oil will keep the outside moist or whatever, but if you cook them without oil, yes, well, they're dry on the outside, but they're juicy on the inside. They're fine. They're delicious. So you don't need it. Okay. You just need very little. Now, my giant cancer fighting salad has oil on it, and a little bit of oil can help with the absorption, especially if you're eating raw food like salad. So a little bit can actually help you absorb some fat-soluble vitamins. Somebody, yes, hey, Emily, yes, I eat nutritional yeast. Yep, I like nutritional yeast. It's great. I need to get some more. I'm out. Bragg nutritional yeast. Okay, Kathy says I need an indoor tower garden. I have a tower garden. It's outside. We don't get enough sunlight inside, really, and I don't want to do the grow lamps. And frankly, my wife is like, I don't want that inside. Beth is watching this, my wife's cousin, so I know hopefully she laughed about that. But we have an outdoor tower garden and love it. And right now we've harvested all of it, and I need to replant. But I made a video. Go to ChrisBeatCancer and type in tower garden and watch this crazy video I made with 60-day time-lapse video of my tower garden from sprouts to just like this crazy monster kale bonanza. Tower gardens are wonderful. We love ours. No, Beth says, are you 100% vegan? No, I'm 98% plant-based. Not a vegan, because there are multiple reasons. Eventually I'll make a video. It's like probably 10 reasons why I'm not a vegan, but I eat 98% plant-based. And one reason, I'll just give you two quick ones. One is that when you look at the healthiest, longest living populations around the world, none of them are vegans, but they do eat plant-based diets that are 95% at least on average. So there's no precedent for veganism being the healthiest diet, but plant-based is. And the other reason is because veganism is like sort of like a lifestyle, like this moral, ethical. I don't think it's moral, but people believe that there's a morality and ethical commitment you're making to never kill another living thing. And so that part of veganism I'm not into, because if it was up to me and me versus survival versus dying, yes, I would kill and eat animals all day long. If that was my only source of food, I would eat animals 3 times a day to survive. So yeah, I mean, I just have to be honest with myself. I mean, when I sat down and just really thought it through, like, I can't be a conditional vegan, right? I think I said this, did I say this in this video or the last video? Whatever, but There will be no vegans in the zombie apocalypse. You can put that on a t-shirt, but make sure you give me credit for it because I just made that one up. But yeah, I mean, if I just had to ask myself honestly, like, is there a scenario in which I would eat an animal? And besides the fact, besides of what I said earlier, and it's like, yeah, if I had no access to food, I would have no problem eating animals, more animal food. And plus the whole ethics of like, oh, it's so bad to kill and eat an animal, it's wrong and all this. There are starving people in the world, like that are like children in the slums of India just trying to catch and kill rats to survive. And you're telling me they're unethical and they're immoral because they're killing and eating rats to survive? I mean, that's like, what an awful judgmental way to be. Like, no thanks. Okay, someone said, why not just boil water in stainless steel? Because boiling doesn't remove any pollutants. Boiling only kills bacteria. That's why. He's asking about for tea. Because stainless steel can leach cadmium into water. That's why you don't want to boil tea in stainless steel. Don't want to boil in anything metal. So Ashi, oh no, here's another one. Okay. Took vitamin C IVs. Yeah, I took vitamin C IVs. High dose vitamin C in your veins instead of chemo. That was my choice. And yeah, I did that many times. And it can be very beneficial along with a radical diet and lifestyle change. So you don't just want to do vitamin C IVs and assume it'll cure you, but it can be helpful in the process. So yeah, I'm all about it. Jackie asked about boswellic acid pills. Yeah, I take Boswellia is frankincense. I take a frankincense supplement every day. It's called Boss Pure. It's on Amazon. Health Through Nutrition brand, Boss Pure. Boswellia, frankincense, is a potent anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer herb. It's awesome. So yeah, I love it. I take it. Jennifer says, what do you want to boil in if not stainless steel? Glass. Get a glass tea kettle for your stove. Glass tea kettle. It's Amazon, $20. That's what we make our tea in. And that's we boil all our water in glass. I boil water for my oatmeal in the glass tea kettle. Black seed oil, I take it every day. Take black seed oil, I take curcumin, and I take Boswellia every single day. 3 potent anti-inflammatories, anti-cancer supplements. They're part of my daily routine. I love them. What do you use for cookware? We have a ceramic coated, I'll show you. Well, here's a lid anyway. Like ceramic coated cast iron, enamel coated cast iron stuff. And that's what we cook with. Michelle was on an all fruit, high fruit diet and can't handle it. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, look, plant-based diet. That's the precedent. The healthiest people in the world eat plant-based diets, 95% plant-based. That means if you're going to eat meat, why not cut back to 1 to 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week. Look, if you're eating meat 3 times a day and you cut back to 3 times a week, you've reduced your meat consumption by 80%. That's huge. So, I mean, even just 3 times a week is so much better than 3 times a day. But if you're not eating meat and too much fruit, just eating all fruit, and that doesn't work for very many people. I couldn't do 100% fruit or a high fruit diet, but I do eat a lot of fruit. Just eat a lot of veggies, Cooked veggies, starches. The Starch Solution by Dr. John McDougall is awesome. One of my favorite books and favorite nutritional MDs. Spencer, hey, I've got proof. One guy can vouch for me. Spencer used to come over to my house and watch me eat the giant salad every day in 2004, and even had some giant salads with me. So if I ever need somebody to come like testify on my behalf, then I'll be calling Spencer because he saw it. He was there when it was all going down. Okay. Kevin asked, what's up, Kevin? Best form of vitamin C? I'm going to show you. So that means I'm going to stand up again. Jan says Camu Camu powder, which is fantastic. Camu Camu is the highest source of vitamin C in nature. So Camu Camu powder is excellent, an excellent whole food form of vitamin C. I actually take another berry powder called amalaki, which is the Indian gooseberry. It's the second highest source of vitamin C. in nature. And the reason I take it instead of camu camu is it is higher in antioxidant power. So it has some other very unique bioflavonoids, phytochemicals, like all kinds of junk in there. Who knows? Like, whatever's in it makes it higher on the antioxidant scale than camu camu. So that's what I take. Organic amalaki. It's on Amazon. And that is my preferred form of vitamin C. Tia says, do you ever just lose your way and eat junk food sometimes? So when I was going through cancer, like 2004 and 5, I might have like splurged a little on dessert or something like every once in a while. Today, I have more freedom to enjoy things. So yeah, every once in a while I'll enjoy something like, you know, we went to the beach and we all got ice cream one time. Like, this is a normal thing. Like, when we go to the beach, yeah, we'll go get some ice cream, like when we're out and about. Or I have dessert sometimes at a restaurant. Or, yeah, I mean, so yeah, sometimes, like my daughter's birthday, we got some cupcakes, you know. So, right, I think the main thing is, like, if you're eating super healthy, you know, 98% of the time, 99% of the time, which I am, then the 1% is not going to make any difference. The problem in America is we're eating like super unhealthy, you know, the majority of the time. I would say 80-20, right? I think most Americans are about 80% bad diet, 20% healthy. And I mean, even just flipping that ratio around will make a huge difference. Okay. Is 5,000 milligrams of B12 per day too much? Probably. I mean, I can't say for sure, but that's a lot of B12, and I'm not sure what the benefit of that much B12 is. I can't say. Maybe someone has more expertise on that. I mean, somebody does, I'm sure. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah. Can I please show the bag without moving so I can take a screenshot? Yeah, so someone's asking about the vitamin C powder I take, which is not vitamin C powder. It's just it's amalaki, which is the Indian gooseberry. How's that for a screenshot? Amalaki, I may be displaying backwards to you guys, but it's Banyan Botanicals Organic Amalaki Powder. Okay, and you just need to take a little because it's super potent. So like a quarter of a teaspoon in juice or water is, you know, might be, you know, is where you want to start. I take half a teaspoon every morning in a big glass of water, not a glass, like a glass water bottle, with a, you know, sometimes, usually with a teaspoon of moringa powder, and like we'll do apple cider vinegar in there, or lemon or lime juice. Just make a little concoction. I'll cold steep tea overnight and add that to the mix. And so I'll have this kind of morning, I call it green light, but it's just sort of my morning concoction of stuff. Usually the tea I'm steeping, since people want to know, and we talked about travel earlier, I'll show you my travel tea, and the tea I drink the most is, I rotate teas, but the tea I drink a lot, Jason Winters tea. Look at him, look at his little face. Jason Winters tea. This is red clover. These are, you know, anti-cancer tea. He's got a fascinating story. He wrote a book called Killing Cancer, how he cured his own cancer with this herbal tea formula years ago. It's red clover, chaparral, oolong, and then a little special spice blend. But it's an herbal tea. It has no caffeine and has very potent anti-cancer herbs in it. And this is what I travel with. Super easy. I can cold steep it overnight, and I'll cold steep it here too. Just throw a bag of tea in my glass bottle, sits overnight in water, and I drink it. So I don't drink hot teas or coffee. I should just explain. Oh, Colleen just said, "Do you drink coffee?" Nice. I don't drink coffee because it's a stimulant. Caffeine's a stimulant, and I don't need stimulants. I'm already too hyper as it is. And you know, coffee does have a lot of antioxidants, and there's some benefit to it, but green tea is better. So And red tea, rooibos, is better, and also hibiscus tea is better. So there are just better, higher antioxidant, more potent anti-cancer teas and hot beverages than coffee. And they don't have the high amounts of caffeine, which are addictive and cause physical withdrawal. If you try to stop, like, it's crazy. Like, you stop drinking coffee, you get headaches. Like, I don't want to put anything in my body that's going to cause that reaction when I quit. And so, no, don't drink coffee. And but where was I going with that? Something about Jason Winters. Oh, I don't drink hot beverages just because I don't like hot beverages. There's no other reason. I don't know. My wife loves hot tea. I like cold tea or room temperature. I just don't like hot. I don't like sipping on something really hot because I'm just going to be prone to burn my mouth, and I'm impatient. So I like to, some people just like the whole the process and the hot thing and the, like sipping it and the, taking an Instagram photo of their little tea and a little journal or whatever. But that's not me. I just like make it, chug, get on with my day. Okay. Chaga tea is great. Yeah, mushroom teas are really great too. Another cool tea that I like is that that mushroom tea, chowa. The chowa tea is pretty awesome too. It's like a mushroom Japanese like samurai tea. That stuff's pretty awesome. Okay, Christos said hot beverages could cause problems. Yeah, it's interesting. There's a little research about, they think that the consumption of hot beverages could lead to throat cancer, like, drinking just hot stuff all the time. So maybe. I don't want to scare anybody about it, but if that's true, it's just another reason why I'm glad I don't like hot beverages. Ria was asking about blood tests. What should we be looking at to identify how healthy we are? Oh, that's a big question. That's a question it's really too hard to answer, too hard and too long to answer. But the problem is, even your doctor doesn't know what healthy blood looks like, because the standards by which they say measure healthy averages are averaged out on the population of unhealthy people. So if you take a bunch of unhealthy people and draw their blood and then average it out, you've got the average blood of unhealthy people, right? Think about millions of Americans taking prescription drugs, chronic diseases, heart disease, cancer, right? All these problems, diabetes, like, these are all healthy people. So you can't really, anytime your doctor says, oh, your blood work looks great, that doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. Like, your blood work's totally fine, totally normal, doesn't mean anything. Like, one example is cholesterol. I know there's a big debate about it, but the cultures with the lowest rates of heart disease have cholesterol between 80 and 120. Total cholesterol. Total. And doctors are telling people that their 190 cholesterol is normal. It's just crazy. So we know from the Framingham Heart Study, cholesterol under 150, you're basically heart attack proof. My cholesterol is 115, so I'm in the range I want to be. And the easiest way to lower cholesterol is you stop eating cholesterol. It's amazing how that works. When you don't eat cholesterol, your blood levels of cholesterol go down. So how do you not eat cholesterol? Eggs are the highest cholesterol food on earth. So eggs and meat and dairy all contain cholesterol. And when you cut your eggs, meat, and dairy, and when I say meat, I mean all animal meat, not just people. I wish people would stop thinking that meat means beef, right? Beef is meat, but meat is not beef. Meat is fish, chicken, pork, shrimp, right? And beef. Meat, animal flesh. So when you stop eating animals, or cut way back to like 1 to 3 times a week, or 1 to 3 times a month, same with dairy and eggs, then your cholesterol will go down dramatically. And the other thing is saturated fat will drive up your cholesterol. So you could cut all that meat and dairy back, but if you eat a whole bunch of saturated fat, like still eat a lot of oils, coconut oil or olive oil or whatever, your saturated fat will prompt your liver to produce more cholesterol. So that's the other thing too, is animal foods and saturated fat prompts your body to make more cholesterol. But I eat tons of nuts and seeds, so that's whole food form saturated fat, right? Whole food. It's locked in the food and locked in with the fiber, which regulates it, versus the extracted form, which would be butter, right, saturated fat, or oils. And so I eat tons of nuts and seeds and don't have high cholesterol. So that's just one, but I could talk about blood forever. I mean, you want to look at your C-reactive protein. I'll just say one other thing you need to look at in your blood work. If your C-reactive protein is elevated, you have inflammation. That's a marker of inflammation. If you have inflammation in your body, then inflammation leads to disease, all kinds. So the best anti-inflammatory diet is a plant-based diet. Meat and dairy are pro-inflammatory. They promote inflammation, and so does processed food. Do I do anything? Every time I make a video, somebody asks me if I whiten my teeth, and I really don't. I don't whiten my teeth. Not that I wouldn't. Like if I really felt self-conscious about my teeth being yellow, I would certainly be open to whitening them. Like, I don't know, Zoom or something. I don't know anything about it, or just some white strips. Tons of fruits and vegetables. No fluoride whatsoever. I don't drink fluoridated water. I don't use fluoridated toothpaste. That's not what makes healthy teeth. Healthy teeth come from a healthy diet, because your teeth are built from within your body, not from toothpaste on the surface. That is not what your teeth are made of. And, your teeth are not absorbing a bunch of fluoride through the surface. They're getting fluoride from your blood, from the food you eat, and other minerals, right? Calcium, magnesium, fluoride, right? Everything your teeth are made of comes from your diet, which goes through your blood, down through your gums into your roots. And that's how your body regenerates and keeps your teeth healthy. So no cavities either. But anyway, if you eat super healthy, if I ate super healthy and I had yellow teeth, I do use I rotate between different toothpaste like Jason or, I had some Young Living toothpaste at one point, and what's in there now? I can't remember. It may be Jason or Aubrey. No, that's like sunscreen. Don't brush your teeth with that. But anyway, I rotate between fluoride-free toothpaste, and I usually always grab the one that says whitening, right? I'm not super confident that they work, but I do use it, whichever one says whitening on it, I just, feel like, okay, maybe that'll help a little bit. And maybe it's helping. Someone asked if avocado raises cholesterol. I can't say that it does for sure. I know saturated fat does. Avocado is whole food fat, so it's a little different than oils. And I don't eat it daily, but I do eat it frequently. So we'll do guacamole at least weekly, and have avocado a few times a week in dishes. So I would say, if you're trying to get cholesterol down, cut out the meat, dairy, and oils, right? So butter, eggs, all animal food. Try to cut out any oils, or cut way back on them. And then, don't worry about the avocado and the nuts, right? If you do all that stuff, I think you're still going to see it come way down. And if it's lingering, then maybe you could also cut out avocado. But I really don't think that's most people's problem, right? I don't think it's that we're eating too many avocados. In fact, I'm pretty certain that's not the reason. Okay. So, Young Living's Thieves toothpaste. Yeah, right. The Thieves toothpaste I've used several times. I do like that toothpaste a lot. And the Thieves mouthwash is pretty good too. Like that. And deodorants. I don't wear deodorant every day, but if I feel like maybe I am going to be somewhere and all day, or if I'm speaking at a conference, I'll probably wear deodorant just in case, but I don't have a BO problem, but I'm also trying to be a little bit proactive, because, you don't want to be in public and then kind of get a whiff and be like, oh no, I've got BO. So, But so yeah, so I do use it sometimes. There's a brand. I just tried some Young Living deodorant, and I did not like it because it was way too tingly. It was like tea tree or something, and like my armpits like tingled for like 2 hours after I put it on. Like it was that tingly feeling, like like almost feels like they're wet or something, and it was just too much tingle. I will say though, like at the end of the day, I could still smell the deodorant. Like it was pretty effective, but yeah, I really did not like that like long multi-hour armpit tingle sensation. But the one I really like is Everyman Jack Citrus. Everyman Jack is at Whole Foods, and it's a clean, deodorant. Somebody's gonna look it up and be like, "Oh, it's got this in it," and then make me, whatever. Sure, some ingredient probably somebody's gonna bust me on, or something. But I do like that. They sell it at Whole Foods. It is free of, from what I understand, it's very clean, and it has a really, I like the citrus. The orange, like citrus armpit, is like so nice. It just smells so good. It's delicious. Okay. Badger is a great sunscreen. Jennifer said, yeah, I agree. Badger is a great brand. Aubrey Organics is a really great, clean sunscreen brand. And I also use, on my face, I use Anne Marie Skincare Sun Love, which is a mineral sunscreen that is tinted. So when you open the thing, it comes out and looks like makeup. I mean, it's like tan. And it's like, wait a minute. I don't know if I want to put this on my face. And you put it on your face and it blends in, and it's awesome. Because, most sunscreen, you put it on and then you have like this white face and you can't ever get it rubbed in and you look like an idiot. So especially if you have any facial hair and you put like a white sunscreen on, oh, forget it. I mean, you're just going to look like a total mess. But the Anne Marie Sun Love is tinted like skin tone, and it blends right in, and it's great. So that's the favorite. It's kind of expensive, and it's ultra clean, pure. I mean, they've got the high standards of any company I've ever seen, and so I think it's too expensive to put on my whole body, but I put it on my face. That's my preferred face sunscreen. Lisa said she uses Mountain Mint. That's exactly the stuff I use. Way too tingly. We're talking about deodorant. Yeah, that Mountain Mint, too tingly on my pits. Oh my gosh. So Amy said I'm working with people who either don't know there's alternative or afraid to choose them. How do I support them? I actually answered this question at the beginning of the live thing, of this Q&A, and when I turn it off, then you can watch from the beginning. But the reality is, in a nutshell, some people just aren't open to it, and it's hard. You can't help them. Like, you just can't help. And it sucks when you have people that you really care about that are close to you that are suffering, and you feel like you have some helpful information, but you don't have an open door to share it. It just sucks, right? You just have to kind of sit by and kind of watch and be like, I wish you would just ask me for help. I would help you so much, or give you all the help I could. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's something I had to learn really early on, is that I can't help everybody, and I just need to focus my time and attention on people who want my help, which is you, anyone watching this, right? That's who I'm focused on. I'm not walking down the street banging on, random people's doors trying to talk them into something. Okay. Hey, Darlene, thank you. That's really sweet. Art said, can you strengthen your body against radiation? I answered this already too. Interesting. But yeah, you want to load up on fruits and vegetables, tons of leafy greens, tons of berries. Just you want to saturate your body with those antioxidant rich foods every day anyway. But if you're doing that, leading up to the scan, that's what you want to do. And then as soon as the scan's over, you want to hit it hard, right? With a bunch of fruits and vegetables as soon as you can, like a great smoothie, just rich in blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries, just down that bad boy as soon as you're done with the scan. That's what I would do. Did you catch a lot of colds when you first started healing and detoxing? I don't know if I caught a lot of colds, but that's not uncommon. Yeah, it's not uncommon when you're, when colds and sickness and fevers and flu are detoxification or can be detoxification reactions. It's part of the healing process. And anytime you run a fever, your immune system is kicking, let me just use the word, ass. And it's a good thing, okay? Even though you're miserable, like when you have a fever, your immune system is in high gear. And so just remind yourself, like if you do run a fever, if you do get sick, like really good things are happening, assuming you don't have like a life-threatening infection, right? But really good things are happening besides the fact that your body's trying to kick the virus, right? It's also killing a lot of bacteria and other lingering viruses and things. So I don't like being sick, but anytime I do get sick, which I haven't been since, I haven't had a fever since 2015, a year and a half ago. And it was a burner too. I actually had a rash on my stomach and my leg. Didn't know what it was. And I had it for like a few weeks, maybe even a month. And I'd been putting a bunch of essential oils on it, which didn't work. And then the kids got sick, got a fever, and then I got it and ran a really high fever. You know, it was down for a few days and it wiped it out. When the fever broke, I looked down, no more rash, it was gone. So again, the immune system kicking some serious tush. I already said ass, I'll just say it again. Kicking some serious ass. All right. Hay says, do you eat starchy grains? Yes. I mean, most grains are starchy. Like, I really like teff. Sometimes I do a teff cereal instead of oatmeal. I eat oats every day. We have like bread sometimes. You know, quinoa, maybe that isn't a starchy grain in some people's opinion. Like there's really no grain that's off limits for me. I mean, corn is a starchy grain, technically. We eat corn sometimes. So yeah, I mean, I think starches are great. Look, I mean, humans have survived and thrived on grains. I know there are people running around saying like, oh, we didn't evolve to eat grains, or we only started eating grains 1,000,000 years ago. We should eat what humans ate 2,000,000 years ago, you know, whatever, right? That's not me saying those things. That's other people. That was my impression of everyone who says that. But the truth is, your ancestors survived and thrived on a starch-based, grain-based diet. Look at Eastern Europe. Without the potato, Eastern Europe would have the whole, you know, continent would be dead without the potato. The Irish had to leave Ireland when the potato famine happened because the potato was their main source of food. I know it's not a grain, but it's a starchy vegetable that's been demonized. And starches are wonderful. It's processed food and junk food that's so bad. And the high amounts of meat and dairy we're eating. So if we went back to eating a plant-based, starch-based diet, much healthier, but instead we're eating way too many calories, way too much meat and dairy. So now, of course, some people have, you know, gluten allergy, gluten sensitivity, celiac, grain sensitivity. That's fine. Like, yeah, you know, if you're sensitive to them, don't eat them. What supplements would you recommend for my 9-year-old daughter? Well, most people need vitamin D3. I mean, almost everyone. A lot of people need B12, even kids, right? Kids need a whole food plant-based diet. They need lots of fruits and vegetables. They don't need many other supplements necessarily, but a little like iodine every once in a while, like from kelp. They have liquid kelp. I give my kids drops of that every once in a while. And trying to think of what else. I mean, I generally don't feel like kids are deficient in things and need a whole bunch of supplements, but those few things can be very helpful. And then like sometimes I'll give my kids drops of some little herbal tinctures and things that I'm taking, various things, just kind of randomly, and you know, but not daily. What kind of bread do we eat? I eat Ezekiel bread, but not every day. So I just like every once in a while, if I feel like, I might make an almond butter sandwich, or something with bread. But bread's just not a big part of my life. I have oats for breakfast, giant smoothie for lunch, and then dinner we have a lot of cooked veggies like beans and rice and sweet potatoes, and starchy veggies and salad greens and stuff, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, cabbage, asparagus. So just lots of veggies. But sometimes my wife will buy like French bread, right? French bread, and we'll have just some like regular old, just like delicious bread. Um, I do more blending than juicing, definitely. Definitely have more smoothie type blended foods than I do juice. But I have about 16, I'd say 16 ounces a day on average. Some days I have 32 ounces, but average is probably about 16 ounces a day of juice now. How do I feel about essential oils like Young Living or doTERRA? Um, they're fine. Like, we actually have both brands in our house and some other brands too. And like, I'm not my wife uses them for cleaning, and we have a diffuser, so we'll diffuse sometimes to make the house smell good. And sometimes I'll like try to put them on stuff like, you know, I tried to put them on a rash and it didn't help. But, uh, I tried a bunch of different ones too. Frankincense, oregano, but we've got a big kit. We've got a big kit of them, but we don't really use essential oils that much. So, I'm okay with it. I think a lot of people are, like think their essential oils are going to like make them healthy, and they're are somehow going to overpower their terrible, unhealthy diet. I've been seeing that a lot. Like, oh, I'm into essential oils, and and I'm like, yeah, but you're, like eating McDonald's. So, like, what do you think the oils are going to do for you? But anyway, chia seeds and flax seeds, yes. I have chia and flaxseed every day in oatmeal for breakfast.